Good evening and welcome to this tutorial for the Valencia College Libraries for your HIM 1000 course. Tonight we're going to be talking about accessing the library databases and resources. I am going to be providing Professor McLeod with some links to some of these resources and video so that you can refer to these at your own leisure. So the first thing we do is to access the library resources is log into our Atlas accounts. The reason we have set this up for you to log in through Atlas, we wanted you to have only one point of access so that you didn't have to continue logging into each database individually. So once you're logged into Atlas, in this left, grid or box, you're going to see library information. You simply want to click on Search the Library. Once on this page, these red tabs are just tabs you should become familiar with, but this will take you to the library homepage, which is just a separate page, just mostly information about the library. These next three tabs are, access to our databases, citation help, which is going to be in a LibGuide, which is also a research guide, which is like a web page or a pathfinder taking you directly to resources that can help you with this particular assignment. And lastly, you always have access to Ask a Librarian, and that's an online chat feature, live chat feature where you're chatting with the librarian who can assist you with your research process. So for now, we're going to do this video in two parts. For this part, we're just going to focus on the databases. And in the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about the library catalog and accessing e-books through there. But you would access it through Atlas just the same way. So let's get started and go to the databases A to Z. In the LibGuide that you will see, I have listed several databases that you can access. But the one I'm going to focus on, there are two that I'm going to focus on in this first part. Health and Wellness, which is a Gale database, but it's also similar to another one that you should refer to. It's called Academic OneFile. I'm going to use the Health and Wellness database first. And basically what we simply do, once we get to the landing page for that, it gives us just kind of some general topics of interest. If you scroll through this carousel, you'll see heart disease, minority health, fitness. If you scroll down, we've got different topic groupings that you could search, as well as just all 316 topics. So we're just going to type in the topic that we're looking for, which is personal health record. And what happens in that field when we typed, you saw some others pop up, so it automatically populates that field with related terms. This shows our results. Here we have two results that are within reference sources. 442 are newspapers, 402 are in magazines, 48 in academic journals, and so on and so forth. What I do like about this particular database, and you'll find this too when you try it out in the Academic OneFile database, it automatically defaults to full text articles. In addition to that, it sorts most of your articles. I'm going to choose a different category because I want more options here. It also sorts by the relevance of the article. So I selected news, and that gives me 442 hits. But when you search for the newest article, it doesn't necessarily give you the most relevant information. That's why I try to leave the sort by on relevance instead. So when you scroll through these publications, I'm just looking at titles. So let's take a look at Personal Health Record System with Process Decision Support Functioning. No, I'm going to change my mind. I don't think I want to use that one. In fact, let me go to magazines. Sorry, guys. All right, so popularity of personal health records growing. So this is an older article, but it probably focuses on the trending of personal health records management. So let's click on this title. And basically what we are seeing is the author the date of publication, the source information, the document type, which is an article, and the length of this article. In addition, you may select, when you click on translate, you can select the language, your preferred language. You may select the font size, and if you click on this listen icon, you have the option of listening to this, and so you can actually download it to an MP3 or MP4 format and listen to it on your way to wherever, as we hustle and bustle through this Orlando traffic. In addition, you have the option of downloading it to Google Drive or another cloud. You may email it to yourself and actually download it to your device in a PDF format. In the top, I guess, ribbon here, you've got the same kind of options, but you can also highlight and make notes. You can email this link to yourself or a classmate or even your professor. You can cite this article. But let me say this about the link. Anybody emailing a link or receiving a link must be logged into Atlas, because it's going to ask you to log into the library in order to get this information. Typically with the area of health and medicine, you're going to be citing with APA. I believe there's a 7th edition now, and so the database provider has not updated this yet. So this would be the actual citation that you would use. So it's going to have the author, the title of the publication itself, Internal Medicine News, Volume 41, Issue 3, published February 1st, 2008, and on page 48 plus. In addition, it's listing the database that you access, but what's relevant is that it's going to list the date of access. Databases change like the wind, and so information may be there today and gone tomorrow. You may also export this citation to one of these tools below. Okay, so we're going to just close that out, and that is basically this article in a nutshell. In addition, you can explore related articles as well as related subjects. Okay, so now let's take a look at Health Source. And I want to look at this one because it's more of a consumer-based database, and as personal health records are created by the consumer, I thought this would be a really good one for you guys to take a look at. Okay, so this has actually 62 articles. Unlike our other database by Gale, this does not default automatically to full text. So you have to click on the limit to here so that it will default there. So we went from 62 articles or results to 56. If you have a lot of results, you can still narrow that down by these variables on the left side of the screen. So peer-reviewed articles or journals, which are those reviewed by your peers, the peers in that field with that other author and who have expertise. By cover story, this goes back to 1995. We could move this bar up to change our date if we so chose. That gave me 46 results in that case. But you can also narrow your search by the source type, which is which would be a magazine, an academic journal, a newspaper. You could also do it by subject, or you could do it by specific publication name. Okay, so let's click on, look at the first one, Integrated Personal Health Records, The Future is Now. So I could click on this title, but it's not actually going to take me to the full text article. What I want to do is click on the PDF full text. So that takes you to that really nice graphic that you see in a magazine or a periodical journal. This is our publication. Within this publication, on the left side of the screen, it's also telling you other articles that are written in this particular issue, which is our March 1st, 2009. On the right side of the screen, you've got tools, and if you hover over them, you'll see the icon. It explains what the icon is. So you could save this in your Google Drive as a PDF. You could print it. You could email it to yourself. You could create a folder within EBSCO, and you would simply sign in and create here. And I simply just use my Atlas credentials. I like to save articles and refer back to them without having to actually go through the search. I still have to go into EBSCO to access them, but I don't have to do the search again. It's already done. In addition, you cite your work here, and you can export this to one of those citation management tools that I showed you before in Gale's database. So if we click on Cite, it gives us a list of the citation format styles. And so APAs, again, is most likely what you're going to be using. And so that is your citation. If you look in this yellow bar, it tells you that you have the option to export this to these sources as well. And we saw these in the Gale databases. You can send this link to someone if you so chose. Okay? And so that's basically our database access. Stay tuned for part 2 video, which will show you how to access ebooks in the library.